after.
Midnight.
Do you cut everything out before the clap?
Yeah, pretty much.
For the most part?
Yeah.
I was just curious.
Well, it's always nonsense junk. It's like us just like kind of being stupid.
The remnants of the conversation.
Yeah.
Before we.
It's
click
never
record.
worth keeping. It's always kind of just stupid stuff. But you know, sure, that's fine.
What?
I can't see the computer screen, and for some reason that makes me nervous.
Well, given our track record, yeah. You do
Yeah,
have the
given
right
our track record,
you
I-
have the right to be nervous.
I-
I can see it.
Okay, good. Well, you'll just be the lookout boy for today's episode.
I'll tell you what, it already stopped.
Did it really?
Yeah.
No way. No, it didn't.
It didn't?
No.
What's it doing?
It's just zoomed out.
Can I scoop a monitor up?
Yeah.
It's probably what I should do, so I'm not over here ostriching.
Actually, if you can scoot it more, then I can see it too.
I can't scoot it more.
Okay, that's fine.
Do I just look at this number right here?
Yeah, as long as it's ticking upward and there's no error message, we should be good.
All right, let's do a reclap.
Yep.
Cut all that bullshit out.
3, 2, 1.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I'm leaving both in. I don't care.
Yeah, you don't care.
I've never cared.
Okay.
Okay.
That sounds like someone who doesn't care. I believe it.
Well, that's good.
So how's the week been, man?
It's been a week.
Yeah, you're cutting new songs?
Yeah, dude. So I have been, let's see, it's been about 3 weeks now that I've been on a new DAW, software for music.
Okay.
So DAW is like a digital audio workstation. That's like the abbreviation for music editing software. But yeah, I mean, I had been using the Scarlett Focusrite 2i2, which is the interface that we use for the show, for music for a long time. But I wanted to upgrade my interface, and when I did, the best price-wise and the best overall option ended up coming with a software.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so moved over to that, and this track that I finished today actually basically was just like a learning track so that I could get my mind wrapped around the new software and get all my sounds downloaded and stuff like that.
Is it pretty straightforward?
Yeah, so it's really similar actually to Logic, which is what we use for the show. That was the other thing with this is I wanted to switch over from Mac to PC for all of my audio stuff, because my video editing stuff is already PC, but everything that I'd done audio-wise had been on Mac, and I sold my laptop, so we've been using this Mac Mini that if you've been watching the show, you know is like the bane of our existence.
Yeah, it's a problem.
It's a problem. It's a terrible computer, is what it is. So not reliable enough to make music on. So.
Right. Well, it's barely reliable enough to make a podcast on.
It's barely reliable enough to turn on. Like honestly. So
How many tracks are you looking at getting on the album?
Oh, it'll be 10.
10 tracks?
10 are written.
Do you? Oh, so you already have lyrics for everything. Do you have all
I have lyrics and-
instrumental pieces done?
Yeah.
Damn. Dude.
Yeah, it's just a matter of recording it now. I did what I think is like the smart thing to do. It's what I do every time with like film, which is that I just did all the pre-planning first. Just got everything out of the way, because normally, I've not really talked about this too much on here. My creative process, music-wise, has always in the past been, I don't write anything except for lyrics. I just sit down and improvise the entire song, sort of like playing the music software, if you will, and then it all just kind of becomes something, and I fudge the lyrics to like fit what I've come up with eventually.
As far as like, kind of the tempo that you've figured in your head, or the cadence of how it's saying?
Yeah, normally like I'll think of what I want it to sound like, and I get as close as possible, and then just kind of like.
Man, I try to do that. Like, I'll think of lyrics like while I'm at work or whatever, driving, and I always pull up like voice memo.
Yeah.
And I'll sing them in the cadence that I would want them to be recorded, and then I can never, for some reason, figure out how to put it to actually put it together.
It's so hard.
Yeah, it's insane, dude. My creative process is, I guess I'm still stuck. With like the freestyling mindset, because dude, every song I've ever written just comes. I just pick up a guitar and I start playing the music first, and then I'll start thinking of lyrics.
Yeah.
It's the only way I can do it.
Yeah, I mean it's one of those things too where like everyone kind of does it differently.
Yeah.
So it's hard to be like, oh yeah, for sure I do it exactly the same way or whatever. But I would say that we definitely are similar in that way. Yeah, I don't know, dude. It's interesting though. This time I actually feel a lot more like liberated going into the recording process because I kind of did all of that work first.
Right.
And you're lucky too in the way that like it always kind of comes out as like a whole song, and you can kind of always do it just like with an acoustic guitar. None of the stuff that I write or record can.
Yeah, I mean your music is definitely a lot more complex than my music.
Well, it's just not. It's not something you can sit down and express fully with one instrument.
Right.
That's the thing. It's like, I guess it's more arrangement. But I would say like, you know, the guitar parts that you play are probably more difficult than any single part that I play. On some of these songs, it's more so just like this mixed with that makes it sound really full.
Dude, I wish I knew. I guess I say I wish I knew. Realistically, all I would have to do is YouTube it. I'm sure I could try to learn it. It would be a little stressful, but I wish I knew like how to use the like recording software and know how to like do drum tracks and stuff like that. Because I feel like I would be able. I feel like I would be able to put. The bad part about when I write is I can hear the other instruments in my head.
Yeah.
And so, like, once it's all layered, it would sound like a full, complete song.
Right.
But as of right now, it's just me and the guitar. And that's not a bad thing.
Not at all.
It's not a bad thing. I don't know, man.
Well, it
I
fits
wish
your
it was
vibe.
full.
Yeah, so, I mean, I'll just tell you what I told myself, which was, if I want it bad enough, I'll learn it.
Right, yeah. I know, man.
But I started the same way. Like, when I first started, like, writing songs, like when I was like 17 or 18, I had a USB mixer that was 4 channels. It was a Behringer. It wasn't even 4 channels, sorry, it was 2 channels. And it sounded horrible. It was a mixer, like not even an interface, a mixer. And you went out of it with a USB, and I went into my, I think it was like a 2010 Panasonic Toughbook, which is like a laptop that's made for the military, because it's like this giant clamshell. It looks horrible. It looks like a printer, basically.
Did you say it was an Intel? Like the...
Yeah, Panasonic.
Yeah,
but
is it one of the ones that have like the little red dot that you can... like the high school laptops?
Yeah, it's not red, but it has one of those. Yeah, it was horrible. So I would go into Audacity, which is like the most free.
That's OG right there.
That is the most freeware like audio editing software you could possibly get. So I would do that, and I would mic my guitar with one microphone and mic myself with another, and just play everything live. Just me and a guitar through this stupid, horrible little mixer. And eventually I was like, this is not enough. So then I got FL Studio, which I hate FL. But it was enough for me to like be able to record my instrument and my microphone and put drums underneath of it, and they sounded like a Super Nintendo, like all of the drums.
Yeah.
So I mean, all of that to say, like, you definitely could learn how to do it. I started from your position, and it took me. I was 17, I'm now 26.
Oh God, dude. I don't have 9 years to dedicate to this, man.
9 years of pretty much every other day trying to get better at just recording, not even like playing and
I guess
songwriting.
I guess it's kind of like what they say though, you know, I mean, yeah, it might take 9 years, and that would put me at 37, but I'm going to be 37 regardless. So I could be 37 and know how to do it, or 37 and still be like, damn, I wish I knew how to do that.
Yeah. Well, the other thing too, I would caution you about those. It becomes a money pit so quickly because building a home studio is sort of addictive like nothing else. Even like everyone gets the buying guitars thing, or like buying pedals or buying amps.
Right.
Everyone gets
Fortunately,
that.
I don't have to worry about that stuff.
Right, because you just play acoustic for now. Here's the problem though. You start to get into building a home studio, and normally it starts with like microphones. Because normally you'll have like a couple instruments that you like, that you can play or whatever, and you'll be like, okay, well, I need a vocal mic, like something that's good for me to sing in. Obviously, we've got, you know, a couple that you could use for that. And then you go, okay, well, I want like a guitar mic, like something that I could use to like pick up my acoustic. It's like, okay, cool. Now, how about drums? You run through all of the free drum plugins. You realize none of them are very good. So it's like, okay, do I buy a drum machine, or do I buy a drum kit, or do I buy digital drums that sound good? And it just keeps going.
There's always something to be had, yeah.
Well, like for me recently, one of the big things was a saxophone. It took me forever to find a plugin that sounded okay for a saxophone, because I can't play. And the one person I know that would play sax, I would feel bad asking him to do that for free. So yeah, it took me forever, but I found one that I like, and it was free. But all the ones other than this one that I found, it would have been like $300 or $400 just to get one instrument that sounds natural.
See, dude,
And that's for a plugin. That's for software. It's not even buying the darn instrument.
I play one instrument.
Right.
And
Yeah.
it's just a guitar.
Yeah.
I can play like 3 songs on piano, and that's it. But
That's pretty good though.
they're all pretty simple songs.
Okay.
You know?
I mean, I can't play a full song on piano at all, but I can sit down and pick out like notes that go along with the melody.
Dude, I wish I had the willpower and dedication to learn piano. That's probably my favorite instrument is piano. And I tried at one point. I had a keyboard, and I tried, man. And I got so frustrated. It's so much, and it takes such finesse to be able to really play it.
I think that's the thing. The actual like playing of it is the hard part, because like I kind of think about like the piano as like driving stick. Like guitar, I think it was kind of like a feel thing, whereas like piano feels very like manual, because the way it works is it's just octaves of a C major scale,
Right.
or not even a C major scale, C pentatonic, or not pentatonic, chromatic scale, C chromatic scale, because it's 12 notes all laid out. So basically, piano can kind of be thought of as like paint by number, because if you know where like your C is, then you can just kind of like count up from there. Like, if you know your C scale, like starting at a C, then you know where all the notes are. And then that's my speaker turning off.
Dude.
It scares me too every time it does that. You can kind of just plug and play chords. Like, you know, you could do just like something super simple. Like you could do G, B, D, which would be just a G major triad, or a G power chord, basically. And if you know those, you can just, you know, but it's the weaving it together with like,
Right.
okay, well I'm in G, so let's, you know, use a borrowed major 7th from the chord that I'm about to go to, and like walk downward into that chord change. Like that's the kind of stuff.
Yeah,
that
making it
piano
sound
players think
fluid.
about.
That's the hard part. And that's what I was going to say about like, so when you mentioned either a drum set or a drum machine, I feel like a lot of times, and it's probably specifically towards people who are newer to like mixing and newer to all of that, but I feel like most of the time I can tell if it's a kit or if it's a drum pad.
Well,
or I feel like it's super easy to pick up on, especially when people first start mixing because
Yeah.
none of it's mixed well. So
Right.
it's not blended
Yeah.
properly.
None
And
of
so it's
it's
just like,
mixed Yeah.
Like,
Well, and something interesting about that too that I hear a lot, even with like friends of mine that make like really good beats. Like I'll notice just like mix stuff since I've kind of put more time into the mixing part of it than a lot of my friends have. And what I notice is the drums every time sound so dead. Like they don't mix with any other instrument. They're like out on this island, like completely by themselves, or they're like so in the front of the mix, like in your face that like it's almost like sharing the same place that the vocal should, and that should just not happen.
right.
Also, a lot of the time now you hear 808s where you just shouldn't. But it should sound like a natural drum,
People
but
love it.
it's just gonna be like. It's this new hyperpop trend.
Yeah,
which
I hate
I'm
it,
kind of. I don't know. There's stuff I like coming out of that scene, but most of it I don't like.
Well, I'm not super into like poppy music in general, so
Yeah, and it's like
yeah.
about as sugary as you can get.
Yeah, see, that's not really my thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, as far as like equipment goes, right now I gotta figure out what's going on with it. But right now, I'm just using our interface,
Yeah.
and I bought a couple of plugins and whatnot that I can power the interface and record video with my iPhone, and it routes the vocals through the microphone
Yeah.
and borrows, the
The actual microphone.
right
Yeah.
instead of the and it sounds great,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
for some reason, it's recording as if it's one channel, and so
Right.
it's
Yeah.
only playing out of the left speaker. Of like, if I like play it in my car, or like if I hook it up to like the sound system or something,
Yeah.
it's only coming from the left speaker, and I have no idea why the iPhone is doing that.
So
Because it's not anything to do with the interface, I don't think, unless I've got it set up wrong or something.
no, so something I learned this go around. Let me see if I can think of a way to explain this. So I've gotten lucky in the past where like my interface has just kind of done this automatically, which is like convert mono into stereo sound.
Okay, that's what it is.
But pretty much everything records just to mono, and then you have to like
Manually do it in a software.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
It didn't do it though. You remember when it was cutting in and out?
yeah.
It didn't do it then, but then when I switched the cables, it doesn't cut out. It's crystal clear, but now it's only recording.
It might be a mono cable.
Is that a thing?
I think so. I think there are XLR cables that just carry a mono signal. I'm not sure. I have a million microphone cables, so one day
We'll get it figured out.
Yeah, we should just like do all of the mic cables to see. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely been what I've spent all of my excess money on recently.
In time, I'm sure.
And time. Well, it's interesting. My schedule is so weird right now. If I want to be productive, because what it really looks like on most days, like during the week, is I'm up at like 7, and then I take my pre-workout and I work out for like an hour, and then I will sit down and either work on music or work on editing the podcast before I go to work. Then I get to work full 8 to 9 hour day, and then I come home and I normally like will mix what I recorded that morning, or just continue mixing, which has been the case for the past few weeks. And then normally, especially for putting out clips and stuff like that, like I should be, I have to do like some more graphic design stuff for just after midnight by the end of the day. And then, if I want to spend any time eating dinner or with my wife, it's like, a few hours at night.
Dude, it is,
then to sleep and then up to do it all again.
Fortunately, though, your wife is a creative individual, and she knows what it takes to successfully complete a project, which is great, because there's a lot of people, man, where I feel like a lot of people, especially in a relationship, there's partners that look at it as like just a hobby,
Yeah.
and that's totally understandable because for the most part it is just a hobby. Like you're
Yeah.
not doing it professionally
You're
necessarily.
not making
but-
money from it.
Right,
Yeah.
but people don't understand, man, and I'm not trying to like sound cringy when I say this, but there's like a need to do it. Like if you're like a
Oh,
creative
there's
individual,
a
there is like a
need.
need to do it. There's
Yeah.
a need to learn this or write this or record this and get
Yeah.
it perfect. Like there's a need for it, and you know it's hard for some people to understand.
Well, I think what she's seen too is that doesn't go away just because I haven't done it for a while.
Right.
Like the need to create is always going to be there. So what ends up happening is like I, in the past for sure, have just like gone to a different thing, like creatively. Like if I'm not working on music for a few weeks, then that means that I'm writing for a few weeks.
Right.
Or it means that I'm drawing for a few weeks, or I'm building models, or just kind of like literally anything. But I feel like I have to do it every day. Like I have to create in some way, shape, or form.
Oh yeah, man, and I'm really bad about it. I'm one of those people where like if it hits me, like I gotta do it. Like
Yeah.
because it's like a fleeting thing for me, dude. I'm
Right,
really
yeah, you
bad.
have
I'm
to-
really bad at like I guess it's ADD. I don't know, man. I'm undiagnosed everything. But it's like I've got to get it written down right now, otherwise I will forget. Or
Yeah.
if it's like, you know, a specific tempo or melody or whatever, like if I want it structured a certain way, I have to record it on voice memo. Because even if
Yeah.
I just write the lyrics down, I'm gonna be like, how did I sing that?
Yeah, what was that?
What,
Yeah.
what was I going for here? Yeah, and you know that's the worst, man. Is if you come up with something good and then you lose it.
I know.
That is the worst.
It happens really easily too.
Oh yeah.
But it's
I have a notebook that I carry around now. I've been writing
Yeah.
a bunch, dude.
That's
But
awesome.
it's funny though because I need to be writing more music, but for
what
some
are you
reason,
writing?
dude, it's so lame, man. For some reason, I found myself writing poetry. And I don't know why, dude.
Is it like angry? I'm at work on my break poems.
No.
Okay.
No. It's real deep and sad. It's like, wow, man. This.
Are you gonna go to a poetry slam?
No,
You should.
absolutely not.
Oh, it'd be
You think
so
I would be
fun.
able to get up on a stage and sit there and perform poetry? Absolutely not, dude.
Knowing you, I know that you wouldn't do that. But if I were to assume from an outside perspective,
Well, considering we have a show, musician,
I would
and
want you to do it.
I've done theater and whatnot, but I feel like I can. So like the acting, right? I feel like I can
Yeah.
convince myself to do the acting because
Yeah.
I'm playing a different person.
Right, it's displaced.
It's a lot less vulnerable
Yeah.
when you're playing a character.
It's very true.
So maybe I just do method poetry. I'll just convince myself that on the way there. I'll give myself a pet. I'm like, listen, man, you're not Dalton right now. You're a poet. Do they even? Where would you even go do like a
Nashville.
Nashville.
Some
Either that or I'm sure
formal
NTSU.
coffee shop. Yeah,
They
MTSU. I think I've been to a poetry slam at MTSU.
Okay, this is gonna sound really mean because it is. So I
Not going to offend me.
I've got this thing where like if I'm doing it, then it's not that cringy, but when other people do it, it's like cringy to me. And so
Yes.
like I feel like if I were to go to a poetry event, right, I would be like, okay, mine's good. All this
Everyone
other
else
stuff
is
is
stupid.
I'm like getting embarrassed.
Yeah. I've had that happen a few times. Like, for instance, when I was a kid, I really wanted to be into like parkour for a while.
Oh yeah, dude. I think everybody went through that phase.
Right? And it was so cringy to watch other people not be able to do it. But when I did it, I thought I was doing good here's the thing. I kept thinking everyone else was cringy doing it until I saw someone who was really good at it one day, and I was like, oh, well, this is why everyone thinks it's cool. This is why people do it, is because people want to be like him, but it's really hard. And no one does that.
Well, everybody wants to be able to move and jump around like Jason Bourne, but in
Right.
reality, most of us just get around like Paul Blart, dude. It's
Well,
just like,
so that's what I'm saying. I feel like for poetry, there's the same thing. There's like the Jason Stathams, and then there's the Paul Blarts.
dude, I'm getting a bunch. I don't know what's happening to my like For You page on TikTok and Instagram specifically. It's like they're targeting me, dude. It's like we're just gonna unload as much sad content as we can on this guy. And dude, like my TikTok has some of the cringiest poets. The TikTok poets absolutely kill me.
Why?
Once
would
in a
you
blue
do
moon.
poetry.
Oh
TikTok?
man, it's such a beautiful thing because they'll set up the camera, they get themselves into an emotional state. There's one guy, I'm not gonna like say his name, but there's one guy. Yeah, right. We have that power. There's one guy who every single video he looks like he's about to cry, and he does the thing. He does the thing that pastors do a lot. So like,
Dude, I
you know
was
what I'm
just
talking
about to say.
It kills me, dude. It's so
Yeah.
fake. It's so chauvinistic. It's a bit ridiculous to
Yeah.
a certain point, and it's
Yeah.
like we've got to take these like deep, long pauses. It's like, are you William Shatner, dude? Will
Yeah,
you just
right.
will you just say it, man? It doesn't have to be such a performance.
It's so
like
true.
I understand making it clear, and I understand making it good, but.
There's a difference.
It's so performative, and I get, dude. I mean, there's a crowd for
Yeah.
it. Obviously, these guys
Oh,
are doing
yeah.
pretty good for themselves.
Yes.
Doing
Well-
the fake tears. I'm curious if they're just that good at acting.
Oh, I'm sure
or-
that they're like able to conjure up tears.
Right.
Have you seen the? It was a meme a while ago, but it's like a full video. This guy that used to. This was back in like the '80s when he like did this news special, but he was like a televangelist, like TV preacher kind of thing before that, and he basically just like had enough one day, and he just like exposed the industry. And he was basically saying that like a lot of these preachers that have like taken advantage of like the 1940s like revivalist movement, like the tent preachers who
Right.
will call you down and claim to heal your broken whatever.
Oh yeah, I had a guy convince me that he witnessed that, and it was true.
Sure. It's
Happened at a local church,
so bad.
local big
So
church.
bad. It's not to say that there isn't like scriptural stuff to back up faith healing, but in the most unique circumstances, not just like pastors able to conjure up
Right.
like some voodoo crap on.
Sir, I
somebody.
believe that is superpowers.
Yeah.
Are you
It's
telling
not
me
a
that
miracle.
you're-
This is
yeah.
You're an X-Man,
Right,
That's-
yeah.
But like legit, this guy was basically just saying that like anyone who does stuff like that, it's just a big money laundering scheme.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And it totally makes sense.
Snake oil.
But he had an entire like basically script, and he had different moves that he could like pivot to, like if it wasn't working in a certain direction. It's like a psychic.
Well, he's like a salesman.
Yeah, I think faith healers, psychics, and salesmen are all like same.
You think they go to
archetype.
like the same conventions every year?
No, but I do think that they share the same like version of psychopathy.
I mean, to a degree, and this isn't to say like all pastors, obviously, but
Yeah.
there is the type out there where they are selling it. I mean, that's what it is. They're selling it.
The way I think about it is like a corrupt police officer. You know what I mean? Like there's a power trip that's addicting in any place where you have stature and leadership over other people. It's like I forget the name of it, but the experiment where they had college kids go to a prison, and half of them were the
guards,
inmates, and half of them were
There was a movie based on that.
Yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, basically the kids that had authority, like I think it was within 7 days, the other students were like dying of malnutrition, and almost all of them had been abused like very badly.
Humans are wild, dude.
Humans are wild. Well, it's crazy too when like you give us a sandbox to play in, and we know the defined rules, like how much we will push those to the furthest extreme. Like it's not ever enough for us to just be like, okay, well this is what they said we could do, we'll do that. It's always, well, they said we could do this, but what if we try and just like
Push it a little bit.
just a little bit?
Yeah.
It seems like that's kind of the problem, is that people people are in a line of work like that and they go, oh, I can make really good money if I just act like this, because people seem to like it. There's like, I think there's like a transactional thing with that, like preacher or poet or singer-songwriter acts like they're gonna cry.
I think I sent you one, didn't I? Didn't I send
I
you?
don't know.
Don't read it out loud. I'll throw your phone out of the window.
Oh yes, you sent me a picture.
Yeah.
And I complimented your handwriting. 'Cause
Yeah.
I thought your handwriting was really
I
good.
hate my handwriting.
In that picture, it looks really good.
I think, dude,
Maybe you just take more time with your poems.
Damn, are you saying it was garbage?
No, I'm saying maybe you take more time to
Writing it?
Yeah.
I was like, damn, bro, on the air, dude? You gonna come for me like that?
No.
Hey, yeah, no. The handwriting's good, but the rest of it
Just
the words themselves, awful.
Terrible.
Awful. Dude.
You wrote crap seven times.
Yeah. It's slam poetry.
Yeah.
No, that's not what I write.
Slam it.
Yeah. Okay, so what kind of new music have you been listening to lately? What's been motivating you?
So it's been a mix of things, because it's not just new music. It'll never just be new music with me, because I don't like enough new music for it to just be new music.
I'm like constantly hunting new music, dude.
Yeah, me too. It's just I don't like as much of it as I would hope to. So new stuff that I've been listening to, Lana Del Rey's most recent record is phenomenal. It's did you know there's a bridge under something Boulevard?
Why does it have to be that complicated?
Because it's Lana and she does that kind of stuff.
I've never listened to Lana Del Rey. Obviously,
What?
I know like a couple of her songs from other people, like the Summertime Sadness
But you're
songs,
like the right person to be very obsessed with Lana Del Rey. Like,
dude, I don't see it, man.
she's so up your alley. That's ridiculous to me that you. That's so funny.
I'm serious.
'Cause,
I can't name. I know the Summertime Sadness, and then I know she's got the weird line where she says something of hers tastes like Pepsi Cola.
Yes.
I don't even know what song that's from.
Those are from two totally different records too, but that's okay. I love the aesthetic of Lana Del Rey. I think that's a good way to put it. Her aesthetic is basically like high class trailer trash.
Yeah.
Which something about that really speaks to me. A long time ago, I wanted to do an album that was basically called that. It was Trailer Trash Beauty Queens. That was the name of the record. I never finished it, but I liked the idea. Did you know there's a tunnel under... I'm just trying to find the name. Under...
It's so long that...
Yeah, okay. It's did you know there's a tunnel under Ocean Boulevard? Anyway, great record. It's super long, but it sounds like older Lana Del Rey mixed with like some new stuff, which is cool because my boy Jack Antonoff produced it. So it's really good. It's been out for a while though, so obviously listen to that. But then, do you remember Bourne's Electric Love? That was like his big song. Yeah, you know Electric Love.
Sing it.
It's super high. So Electric Love.
No, not ringing any bells.
Yeah, that was the worst rendition of that in the world. You definitely know this song. I did that no justice. You were never gonna get it from that. Sorry.
I'm gonna get copyright.
You'll be fine. If you don't know it from that, you know, okay. Anyway, it was a huge song. Basically, Bourne's, I've seen him in concert a few times. Love his stuff. He put out 2 records and then fell off the face of the earth after 2018, and then just put out a new EP a couple days ago, which is really, really good. I mean, not that I was expecting it to not be, because I love Borns, but I don't know. It exceeded my expectations because it's very different.
Right.
It sounds like him, and it sounds like the music he makes like adjacent to that, but it's also got like some funk and some jazz and some like almost like scat singing. I don't know, it's really cool. What?
Nothing.
Okay.
I got worried for a second, but it's all good.
Okay. Anyway, yeah, both of those records are super great. And then Asia by Steely Dan is like my new all-time favorite record, but also the one I've been listening the most to be inspired for what I'm making. Lots of Doobie Brothers. Lots of Doobie Brothers. Yeah. I don't know what it is, but
You and I have been listening to 2 totally different genres.
very different, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's probably always been that way, though.
Probably.
You're super into, like, experimental stuff, and...
I like experimental and, like, yacht rock.
Yeah, which I like yacht rock, but you also, you're super into, like, the, what is it, Japanese funk?
Yeah, city pop and stuff like that. Yeah, because I just like groove music for the most part.
Yeah, no, I feel you, man. I've been listening to, like, do you even know who Coulter Wall is?
No.
See, so Coulter Wall from back in, like, I want to say he really started taking off around, like, 2016, 2017, something like that.
It's been a while.
He's almost in a genre of his own. It's country-esque, but it's more so, like, old soul Western music. Kid's only, like, 25 years old, works on a ranch, like...
Dang.
He literally records his music from his ranch after work, and then he's super famous. Like, everybody knows Coulter Wall, but I don't even know if he goes on tours anymore. Like, he turns down, like, Joe Rogan tried to get him to come on the podcast, and he's like, no, I mean, you can come out here to the ranch, but I got work to do, buddy. Like, Post Malone tried to record with him. He told him the same thing. He's like, man, I appreciate that, but if you want to record, you got to come out to the ranch, dude. I got a studio here. I'm not going anywhere. He's like, he doesn't care about anything.
Good for him.
I've been listening to a lot of him. You know, you listen to Nicotine Dolls?
No.
I'm iffy about Nicotine. I don't know exactly how I feel about him. The lead singer is a funny guy. I like him. I found him on TikTok, actually. His name's like Sam Sinetti or something like that.
Interesting.
And he posts like clips and stuff on TikTok. He does like a wicked good Owen Wilson.
Oh, I've
impression.
seen him. Yeah.
Okay, so he's the one that's like this is Owen Wilson as Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah.
That's him. So he's the lead singer for Nicotine Dolls, and he's got one of the most unique voices I have ever heard.
I've never heard him sing. I've just heard him be Owen Wilson.
His style it's very reminiscent of like the first 1975 album.
That's cool.
But it's a lot more. Man, I'm just gonna have to show you, dude. I'll have to play it for you before you leave. But it's really interesting. I just I don't know, man.
Really like the 1975.
I used to really like them. It's a little too poppy for me to listen to a lot.
Yeah,
but like Antichrist, I love that song.
Yeah,
that's probably my favorite one.
Their first and their second record, fantastic.
I
don't know. The second one, the middle is just so much. There's just nothing happening.
What do you mean?
The white album with the pink. Yeah. The middle of that record is just so slow.
What, like the songs in the middle?
Yeah, just the middle chunk is just hard to get through. But I like the extremes of the album, like the first 3 songs and the last 3 songs.
I only know the one song from that album, and it's the what is it called? Love something?
Yeah. Love me.
Yeah. If that's what you want to do. Oh. Yeah. That's a good song.
That's a great song. That was my ringtone. Not ringtone. That was my alarm that I woke up to for like so long.
I would hate.
That was like through all of college. That was what I woke up to every morning.
I feel like that would ruin a song for me.
It did ruin that song for me, unfortunately. And then I did Good Morning by Bleachers, which was good for a while, but then that got stale. Now I just have the Wii Shop music for everything on my phone.
That?
No. Bum, ba-dun, dun,
Dun, dun, dun, dun.
It's my text tone, my ringtone, my alarm. It's so funny at work too, cause like in the warehouse it's dead silent except for like machine beeps, and then I'll get a text and it's just. Everyone turns around like, what?
My phone is never not on vibrate.
Yeah, I mean.
That is it, dude. And I wake up to
It's
the
been-
most annoying alarm like any other psychopath. Yeah.
Yeah, that one wakes you up though.
Yeah, it
that
does.
one is like that
Oh,
one is
God.
adrenaline in an alarm.
Yeah, dude. You feel like you're about to go to war.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Oh my gosh, they used that as an alarm sound in Doctor Who, and when I heard it, I about literally had a heart attack.
Having PTSD.
Well, yeah,
Is it morning already?
it's so bad. It's because I was working at Chick-fil-A, and they had me on morning shift. And morning shift to Chick-fil-A is 5 a.m. to 2 p.m. And I had to wake up at like 4, like to be awake enough to go to work at 5. So I ended up normally waking up at like 3:30 a.m. And then I would get home at like 2:30 p.m. and just sleep the rest of the day. It's horrible. But yeah, I got really used to waking up to that alarm, and I hated it. It definitely gave me PTSD
Yeah, man.
of a certain kind.
I feel you on that early morning stuff, though, dude. When I was working at, I was 18. It was right after I totaled my car and was going through all that stuff that we won't disclose right now. I had a buddy that worked at Hardee's, and he worked the morning shift, and so like I needed a job to pay a bunch of fees.
Yes.
So
we'll call them fees.
yeah, I ended up working at Hardee's with him, dude, and I had to be there at like 4:30 in the morning, dude. It was so awful,
When'd
and
you get off?
5 to 2.
Yeah.
I'd get off at lunch.
It was the worst.
It is the absolute
Shift.
worst. I got Trevor a job there at one point because he needed one, and he was the biscuit maker, so he had to be there at 4 o'clock in the morning. He worked there for 2 weeks and then quit right in the middle of the shift.
How could you not? Oh my god. I mean, I think everyone thinks about just leaving in the middle of a shift.
Dude, every day.
Every day.
Every day.
Because work is the worst.
I'm super slow right now too. Like at my job
Yeah.
site, like dude, I walk around for 8 hours.
Just the opposite for us.
Y'all are slammed?
Oh
That's
my
way better.
gosh.
That's way better, dude.
It is way better, except for it means like guaranteed overtime the first half of the week. Like Monday through Wednesday, we will be there at least an extra hour or two for each of those nights.
I can't work a job that doesn't have a set schedule. I am not coming into work and not knowing what time I'm leaving. It's different if they're like, hey, do you want to stay? But I can't work somewhere where they're like, start time's at 6. You might get off at 2. You might get off at 4.
Right.
I'm not doing that, dude.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Yeah, that sounds awful, man.
But, you know, whatever. So, I'm working on a new record. We are going to be working on your E EP.
Yeah, so I was actually running through my songs earlier. I would say like final product, dude. Honestly, right? I don't have 10. I'll tell you that. Good thing it's an EP and not an album.
Yeah.
I think I've got 5. I think it's 5 or 6.
Perfect, yeah.
5 or 6 that are ready to
6
cut.
is like a long EP. I think 5 is like really a sweet spot. 6 is good though still. The EP I was talking about earlier.
I think the
6.
I think the 6th one was the one that I just wrote.
Cool. That one's really good though. I think
I
that's
do like
right
it.
there.
Oh yeah, it'll be on there. It'll be on there. I would say my tops are the one that I played you before.
Yeah.
First Year, the Past Life song.
Yeah.
18.
We're teasing you the names of these songs.
I don't even know. Well, we say I'm not set in stone on anything.
Yeah.
The 18 song.
Yeah.
Um,
Love that one too.
the one I just wrote,
Yes.
and then I'm torn between 2 because I really like both of them. I got the one where it's like I said, darling, why don't you come sit next to me? That song.
Yeah.
I like that one because I feel like we could make it kind of groovy, like kind of cool.
Yes.
But then I also like the one that I finally finished. It was is the I don't think it's gonna ring any bells for you, but it's one where it's like, starting to think you never really move on, you just get good. I don't even know if I've played.
I don't think
for
you played that one for me.
Yeah, that one's sad.
So it's a mystery for me too.
That's a sad one.
Interesting. Well, we'll definitely get onto that soon because
I mean, we got a lot of stuff we need to do.
We got a lot of things
It's like a
in the
never
works.
ending. Yeah.
It's good though.
No, it's great.
It's busy season here just after midnight.
Right? Yeah. To keep you busy during the winter, dude.
Yeah, definitely. Speaking of which, is there anything else you want to talk about?
Cash out, baby.
Alright. Well, this has been
Just
After
midnight.
Hey!
Look at that, we did it proper that
we
time.
did it. Alright, bye guys.
After.
midnight.